Hello everyone, welcome back to another quick video. This video is kind of an update from the last video I released yesterday because I mentioned at the end of that video that the DPS meter wasn't out yet in the Chinese version of the game, despite the fact that it was originally targeted for the mid-September patch. But it does look like it actually went live now, or at least partially, thanks to Yude in the database Discord for uploading some images of it. They kind of showed off what the in-game DPS meter, the official one, actually looks like. Note though that at least currently it's not a full release, unfortunately. It's only available in the guild hall where the dummies are, and I think we'll be able to see that in one of the other screenshots, but actually no, I think all these screenshots are just with the actual bars themselves, or the DPS meter, so won't show the actual guild hall. But just know that it is in the guild hall dummies, or it's in the guild hall and it's on the dummies. That's the only time that the DPS meter is working, at least in China right now. And I think it's just to test it and make sure that it is being accurate and whatnot. Presumably it'll be available for all other content, including like open world, or at the very least it should be available for dungeons and also for the 20-man raids, right? So that's what I'm expecting. But without further ado, just want to hop into some quick little things here. So I believe this first image that we're looking at here is just like the standard DPS meter. It shows the person, it shows how much damage you're doing in total, or your accumulated damage to the target, and then your actual damage per second, or your DPS. And I think this would presumably be the amount of contribution to the overall damage. So you're doing like 85% of the entire damage. I don't know why in this particular instance it says 85%, because I would have imagined this person would have been the only one targeting it, so I would have thought it would have been 100%, but I don't know, maybe it means something else. But one of the things to note as well is that these DPS tables, you can swap between different views with the angled brackets on your keyboard. And that's how you get, I think, to some of these other views that I'll see, or that we'll see in the other images. So for example, there's this one, and I believe this one they said was a breakdown of their skills or abilities and how much they contributed to their damage, which I think the other unofficial third-party DPS meters I think did do this, although I did try one in the global CBT to just see how it functioned, and I was never able to get a skill report or a skill breakdown to actually work. But that might have just been something with me doing it wrong, or maybe it was just bugging out, or maybe I did it after I like closed the game or something like that. I'm not entirely too sure, but either way, I think this is a breakdown of all of your skills and how much damage they did, again, in total, and I think how much damage they did per second, maybe, again, and then like the contribution towards your damage output. So like this move, whatever this is, at around 38% of all your damage, right? So in theory, you could see basically a full breakdown of your entire kind of skill set and what's contributing to most of your damage, which is really cool insights in that regard. I always like seeing all this types of information, and it can be very useful for people who are trying to see, again, what damage they are doing, maybe where they can improve, and also maybe where they're lacking, or just a general understanding of how their class works, right? Once you know the rotation, you can kind of visualize now, like, okay, these are the things that are doing the most damage because they are supposed to, and these are the things that are just there to tack on some extra damage that maybe don't actually contribute that much to the overall damage, but are still nice to have, right? And then in this final image we have, this is just showing that it showcases it with other party members. So it shows the main individual as well as another person who presumably attacked the dummy at some point. And again, it shows their accumulated damage as well as their DPS. I don't know, I guess maybe the tank just attacked this or was still attacking it, but you know, it shows that, and again, it also shows the contribution to the overall health pool here. And in this case, this looks like it adds up to 100%, so this makes more sense to me compared to that first image. So all of that checks out. I'm not sure if there are other table views that haven't been shown off yet that people are experimenting with, but I don't know if there's like healing stats for healers to see how much they're pumping out in terms of healing. I don't know if there's stats for shield as well. I think that was one of the things that I'm not even sure that the third parties were doing, was whether their healing contributed to or rather included the shield generation from certain abilities. Like again, Smite Spec or Thorn Lash can create shields via Nature Sanctuary, as well as your Wild Bloom just can create shields. And in the case of if you have a Heavy Guardian in your party who is like the Earth Forts specialization, they have that one talent that makes them, if they heal, they gain shield instead, right? So does that count towards your healing output? I don't know. Those are some stats that I have no idea if they'll show us. And also like damage taken, right? Like, are they going to show you how much damage you've taken? That would be, pretty interesting to see. And actually another thing which separate to the DPS meter but would be really cool, because it was a third-party tool used a lot in Final Fantasy XIV, and it's very helpful. And it could be helpful to people here if they do implement something like that, would be a death recap of some sort, to tell you how and what you died from. Because I've definitely seen things of people being like, how did I die to this? What did I die from? I've even had that happen to me before, I think, where I wasn't like fully sure what killed me. I mean, I think I had an idea, but I wasn't like certain, and so like a death recap would help certify exactly what killed me. But that's about it for this video. Again, just wanted to show this and note that now the DPS meter is in. Presumably Global might be getting a fuller version of this. I don't know, we'll have to see, because again, this is kind of more preliminary. It only works on the target dummy, or the target dummies rather, in the guild hall. So I'm not sure if it will be further developed by the time global launch happens. We'll have to see. Again, there's only about 2 weeks, a little bit less than 2 weeks, I guess, technically, when I'm uploading this video. So I don't have too much time to get it in, but yeah, so I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.